shoots. All he does is follow everybody else, follows everybody else, follows everybody else. Another movie about me. I'm Jamie O'Brien. Check out my movie, The Freak Show, The Freak Side, The Super Freak, The Psycho Freak. I ain't got no budget. I ain't got shit.
Pipeline, my name's Jamie O'Brien. And I think I'm gonna drop in the Pipeline Masters this year and shred.
You're not in the top 10 in the surfer poll. Who do you think you are?
Oh, Giname. Oh, Big Barrel. Oh, Jamie O'Brien is nothing at Pipeline. Jamie O'Brien is not marketable. Jamie O'Brien is not the face of the brand. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
Looking around, try to take a chance. One step left, one step right. Getting weak on the knees, keep it doing it right. See my girl, she's getting down. Got all the moves, but she's wearing around. I see you stepping, I see your flow. Baby, tell me, cause I gotta know. Can you let it go? Try to tell me what I already know, yeah. Don't you try to tell me what I already know, yeah. Don't you try to tell me what I already know, yeah. See my girl, she's getting down. Got all the moves, but she's wearing a frown. I see you stepping, I see your flow. But baby, tell me, cause I gotta know. Can you let it go?
You know, Jamie's a guy who sort of pushes that envelope with people, and people kind of either love him or hate him. And
I don't know. He just does his own trip, and he does it. You know what I mean? So he's got his own style, and he don't give a fuck. You know, a lot of people don't like it.
Some people hate on him because he is so good and he is so cocky that it rubs off the wrong way to some people sometimes.
even though I do hear things, I hear rumblings from people like he goes places and pisses people off a lot.
And you know, you don't got to act like that. You know, your surfing does the talking, and you know, he's one of the best surfers out there.
You know, he takes every wave. He drives a jet ski through the lineup. He's loud.
Because like you read the stuff, and it's like, fuck, you'd want to slap this guy's head. But then, you know, in person, Jamie's the nicest guy in the world.
And that gets around in the surf industry. It's pretty small, you know. People hear about, oh, he was at Lakey Peak doing this, or he was at wherever doing that. But, you know, he can pull that off at Pipeline all day long, which is funny. That's the one place no one can pull that kind of stuff off. And, you know, Jamie probably does more of that at Pipeline than anywhere.
Jamie O'Brien, he's a cocky, fucking, you know, cocky, arrogant prick, just like me. first started school, like, I was always like, you know, the little hood rat in school, like, you know, whatever, white boy, me and Kalani Chapman hanging out, like, you know, like, oh, why your mom made you wear underwear, like flushing our underwear down the toilet, like, we're over underwear, way too cool for underwear, like.
I've heard all the horror stories of Holly guys going to Kahuku High and Kahuku Elementary.
I went to Kahuku Elementary not knowing one single kid, and every single kid was dark-skinned, Hawaiian, Samoan. It was where all the locals went to school. Like, so I was like, you know, 3 out of 100 white people that went to the school. So it's like, bam, I walk in, it's just like, everyone's looking at me, glaring like, oh, who's this guy?
High school or elementary school, guys like little smart ass.
You know, there's a couple, you know, Hawaiian local brothers, like boys, you know, like, you know, oh, at Holly this, Holly that. And I was just like, you know, like, I'm a little punk too, you know, like I grabbed my plate lunch and I just put it in my hand and I just flew it right at the kid's face. And this kid's bigger than me. And this kid takes off running at me and I just take off full sprint, just jamming. I'm running home. I ain't running away from him. I'm running home to my dad. Like, so I just take off running across the street and then basically I kind of get my head punched in and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, just a grom, forget about it, doesn't really hurt.
First time I went to WoW, I think I was like 9, 10 years old. Jamie was, he was probably like 6. Had a helmet on with duct tape.
I always remember helping him wrap his head with duct tape.
You know, the doctors discovered that I had a really bad hearing infection, and basically they told my dad that your kid is going to have a ear operation.
So I took him to the hospital, and they said, why he needs tubes? He said, he won't be able to go in the water for over a year, 18 months.
Well, what about surfing? And my dad's like, yeah, what about surfing? Like, my kid can't go in the ocean?
I wasn't going to let these kids get ahead of him, man. It's like, this is lost opportunity. You know, I got to figure a way to keep my kid in the water.
Like, you know, bam, he's thinking bathing cap, bathing cap, bathing cap, Vaseline.
I'm like, shit, well, how am I going to keep that on? So I got silver tape, and I taped it around his head. I go, okay, so then I put a helmet on top. It's like,
Come on, at 5 or 6 years old, dude, you're supposed to be trying to be as cool as you can, bruh. I'm coming down the beach, my dad's busting out duct tape, bathing caps, earplugs. Dude, I felt like an alien, dude. I'd go down there, dude. I didn't have no ears, dude. The duct tape and the bathing cap, dude, I couldn't hear nothing, too. I had earplugs in my ear. I didn't know what was going on. I was like...
You know, and he'd come in and I'd be mad at him or something, and I ripped the tape off. And I had me go around.
I'm just like, oh, what's going on? Like, do I really want to surf this bad? You know, he's just, don't worry about it.
went to school together in elementary, and then he was in a different class.
Which class was he?
He was in a special class.
When I was in 4th grade, my second year attending Cuckoo High School, they wanted to put me in special ed, and I was like, right there, my heart dropped. I was like, do I really need to go in special ed, Dad? And he's like, you know, I think it would be the best for you. You know, you really need the one-on-one with the teacher.
And he was, because he couldn't hear, he got behind in school, so he had to go to school on the special ed bus, which is all the kids that have disabilities and stuff. And there was nothing wrong with Jamie, he just got behind because he couldn't hear. But he's on the special ed bus all the time.
You know, when the recess bell would ring, I'd try and bail out of the special ed class as fast as I could. Like, I didn't want everyone to know I was in special ed, and it was always something to me that was more personal. It was a different part of my life.
We're in a secret island. No one's going to tell you where. Nobody, not even the stewardess. They won't say one word about nothing, about top secret mission. And nobody's going to find out where we're surfing because the waves are supposed to be so good that even the flight attendants won't see nothing. This is secret base. So
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome to Pompeii.
was about 4 years old when my mom left, I think. And my mom she just left. She didn't tell us where she went.
Man, at first trying to raise my kids, my wife was gone, was like really gnarly.
I couldn't imagine what my father went through those years.
My kids being a single parent, because most single parent kids lose it.
Like, basically my dad saying, come back to the family, let's figure things out. And my mom was just like, get away from me, I'm over it, I'm done, I'm out, you know, which was pretty heavy, you know what I mean? I remember, like, it was my first time flying on an airplane. I was just like going to see my mom, and my mom didn't want nothing to do with us, which was pretty baffling. It must have been hard for her. So I never had that mom to go cry to, saying, oh, Dad was so mean and Dad was so harsh on me today about this surfing contest. Like, I had no one to run to. I'll just go into my room and look at a card that my mom wrote me, like, just be so bummed and so like, wow. You know, that wasn't cool, but whatever. You know, that's how life was at the time, you know? know, what are you doing? Sit in your room and you need a perfect pipeline. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, shut up, will you? Who's talking to you?
Mick would always tell me, he's like, Jamie acts up, just pound him. Mick's classic.
There's been a lot of parents that say, well, I don't want to push my kid, you know, and the kid's going to be really hard. But you got to push your kids. They don't know what they want.
And my dad's dream, my dad's passion was surfing. My dad's dream was to be a pro surfer.
His dad would always take him to the beach every day.
But he surfed 5 times a day because I always tell him to get back out there.
So he's going, get out there. There's 20 photographers on the beach.
Just surf, 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 nothing else.
You know, because my dad cared about the surfing career more than I did at the time.
And, you know, I wanted my son to be world champion. He wanted to be world champion. Every dad wants his kid to be world champion.
My dad would lose the plot when I would come in from a heat and I just set up the whole wave for one air.
He's just stutter. He's always setting up the whole wave. Take off, set up the whole wave just to do one air.
My dad's like, oh, you lost. What's this all about? You didn't take the right wave. You didn't do this. You didn't do 3 to the beach. What are you doing? And I was just like, whoa, I'm sorry. Like I didn't know. You know, I was just surfing.
You know, I got on his case at a contest one day, and I'm over it. And he's probably like 12 or something. Like, I'm over it. You know, I'm not going to any more contests yet.
He's like, what are you doing, you idiot? You want to be working in the pineapple fields? Huh? You want to be working, you know, like 9 to 9, you want to be working all night? I was just like, so you want to surf? Like, I was just like, God, this is pretty heavy, you know? Like, he started getting so full on.
I don't know, whatever Miko did with Jamie, he did the right thing.
You know, and like Jamie says to me now, he's like, hey man, thanks Dad for taking me there.
Whatever, you know, it drove me. It gave me drive in my career to be who I am. Like, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be where I am at today.
I've got
What does Pipeline the Wave mean to you?
Everything.
Maybe not from when I could first talk, but you know, by the time I was 6 or 8, I wanted to go and see Pipeline.
It's always been a dream to surf that wave.
I didn't know what Pipeline was. I didn't know what was going on. I just seen guys on red boards with long hair, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
My generation of friends was basically, we all kind of made our bond at Pipeline.
So that's all I wanted to surf, just because it's like, oh, surfing Pipeline is, you know, as a young kid watching all those videos and stuff.
I think that anyone who watches Jamie Pipe, they realize it's a playground for him. He's so comfortable putting himself in so many situations, going right and left.
Fuck, that's his front yard, you know, right there, Aokai, Gums, Pipe. So he's got that wave wired, you know.
When you're spending a lot of time in the water, you start to feel like you're getting that really wired, you know. I think Jamie has it wired.
Riding the handicap bus back from school, not the normal bus. I'm like looking at this spot, Dead Man's Corner. I'd look at it every time, like, oh, I already know how Pipe was. I drove by that corner so many times that I already knew how Pipe was every time I went around that corner.
Spending a lot of time out there, you know, when they hit the reef at a certain angle, can you make them from this deep? Are they going to close out? Are they going to bend on, you know, is the shallow part of the reef towards the shoulder going to make it break too soon?
I'm mentally picturing an image in my head of what I'm gonna do before I even go out there, whether I'm gonna get this wave or not. I paddle out the Pipe, I'm thinking, I wanna sit here. This is where I wanna sit. You know, for no reason. You know, I wanna sit here. That guy's sitting exactly where I wanna sit. It pisses you off. You're looking at this guy like, hey, you're right where I wanna sit. You know? Shit's happening. I'm paddling, I'm lining myself up, I'm looking landmarks, I'm looking reef marks, I'm looking at the wave. I start reading the wave 100%. Reading the wave. Where do I want to be? A little deeper? No, a little bit more to the side. Yes, a little bit more deeper. Oh, okay, start paddling for this wave. 4 other guys are paddling for it. Put my head down. I'm going, Jamie's going, Jamie's going, Jamie's got this wave. Your 100% commitment starts then. You don't back down, you go.
You know, that's his backyard, and you know, when a guy is so dominant at one spot, there's not a whole lot you or anyone else can say to him. You know, what are you gonna do? Try to put him in his place? Like, he's putting everyone else in their place the way he surfs the place. So, you know, sit back and enjoy it.
Pipeline is funny. It's like every surfer in the world is attached because of Pipeline. Nathan Fletcher told me that.
I don't really know. Like, everybody has their little trip in life, what they do or whatever, you know, their addiction. And I think Jamie's addiction is Pipeline. He can't get enough of it. Neither can I.
The guy can't surf. The guy cannot do 3 turns. That's why he'll never qualify for the WCT. The guy is a kook, bro. Let me tell you. I want to make surf movies because nobody wants to film me. You don't care about ratings? The guy needs to be getting paid $6.50 an hour. A regular job, normal job.
What are you doing, you idiot? Come on, Dad. You don't do airs in contests. What are you doing? You're not gonna win this event doing airs. You wanna be working in a pineapple field. You wanna surf. Oh, you lost. What's this all about? You didn't do 3 to the beach. What are you doing? Do I really need to go to special ed, Dad? You fell behind in school. You've been the village idiot. You know, I think it would be the best for you. You know, you really need the one-on-one. Come back to the family. Let's figure things out. Get away from me. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm out.
Jamie O'Brien, what's he been doing the last 3 years? I haven't even heard his name. Kid ain't got no future, no future, no future.
Jamie's future. You just gotta look at Pipeline.